I can't tell a contemporary story that is just about a boy and a girl meeting at a coffee shop, but I can tell a retelling or a reimagining of stories of the gods. Hello and welcome back. So this is gonna be like a mid-year check-in. I know a lot of people were doing some like mid check-ins and kind of gave me inspiration. And I'm also doing some changes. So I'm right. It's also the beginning of another quarter. Yeah. So I thought about watching my goal video and I started it and then I realized we're not gonna mess with that. So also if you don't know who I am, my name is Dolores Mill. I like to call myself a storyteller. I show and share and express stories through writing, gaming, and also my opinions on what I'm reading. But yes, so main thing that this video is going to talk about is writing. I was about to say gaming. That's not correct. Writing. So I have been writing a novel that is called Project Sci-Fi Romance, and I had plans to have it finished in March because then it would be a year and it would have been like, oh, it took a year for me to write a book. But I had some bumps at the end of last year, and I have been, I don't want to say distracted. It's more like my thoughts have been to something else. Yes? Maybe. So if you're not new here or don't watch the streams, you will know that I have been very interested in Aztec culture, trying to explore my heritage through that lens versus the Mexican part of being Mexican American. I'm kind of going deeper, and I've had some ideas of books that would reflect my Aztec heritage. And as I've been doing more or reading more books from nothing authors, listening to people talk about representation and trying to get more Hispanic and Latino stories and authors out into the world, and doing more of my own research, I came to the realization that perhaps I should be contributing in the way that I could. So I've mentioned multiple times that I don't think I am the author or the writer to put out contemporary stories. I enjoy contemporary stories, and I also agree that it's important to show a contemporary viewpoint of the Latino world that is not just the immigration story. But I don't think I'm that person, especially because I don't write contemporary. I don't like writing contemporary. I just can't. I shouldn't say can't. I just don't enjoy it. I've tried a couple times, and if there isn't some kind of magical spacey twist to it, I just can't. So if anything, Project Sci-Fi Romance was born out of me attempting to write a contemporary and not liking what I was doing, and decided to take my story and throw it into space, and it evolved into something slightly different. Not totally different, just slightly different. So after thinking about this, deciding, trying to find a different way also to spread my publishing wings a little bit, doing more research, I decided to try to start my hybrid life. And I would do that by dipping my toes into Kindle Vella. I do read like webcomics and app stories, either fan fiction, and I figured, why not try it? Why not try it? It's been about a year now that Kindle Vella, or 2 years, that Kindle Vella's been out, and I watched a lot of videos. There's definitely some up and downs. At this point, it's gotten much more fluffed with writers than if I had started at the beginning. And I also feel like I need to just put something out. I need to have people start reading besides just close people that I trust. I need to start more people writing and getting opinions and critiques and rejections and negative things to start being exposed to that. And I chose an idea, which the only thing I will say is that it does have a Latin main character and backdrop. I'm not going to say too much because it is a special project that really only Ko-fi members and people in my Ko-fi know about, or will start knowing about soon. And so if you want to know about that, links down below to my Ko-fi. I am going to eventually make a tiered member list for just this story, because I'm going to be publishing the story on Kindle Vella, but also on Ko-fi for my people who want to read it that are not in America. And yeah, so that's all I'm saying about that. But in starting to write that and embracing a character that's within my space, I guess, made me want to write a novel that has more inspiration for me. So Project Sci-Fi Romance has teensy bits. I can see where someone would be like, "Oh, you are," because I'm writing about essentially a person trying to avoid being deported. And I didn't realize that until I was like at least 20K into the book, that I was writing a deportation story, or a trying to not be deported story. Even though that's not the point of the story. I still want to tell the story, but I don't think I want to do it right now. I think I want to share my culture. And I have had ideas about writing stories about mythology. Now, if you again don't know from watching past vlogs, those are messy, or hearing me talk in live streams, I love mythology. Mythology has always been my jam, my go-to next to sci-fi. I have read Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, Roman mythology, a little bit of Norse, and as some being older, I've read a little bit of Celtic, I already said Egyptian, I meant Japanese, some Chinese mythology-ish. So I've looked into, read a lot of stories, and of course I've read the classics like the Hades and Persephone retellings, Cupid retellings, and actually one of the Cupid stories is one of my favorites, called The God and the Princess, which is a very old book and it's very hard to find. Actually, at some point when I get a little bit more like spending money, I want to try and find a copy of that book so I can own it. To this day, it still really is one of my favorite versions of this retelling. It's a very pure. Actually, I don't even. It sort of is a retelling. It's like Prince of Light, but I love that. I love those stories, and we are starting to see some like Egyptian mythology folklore sprinkled into books, and the embracing more of Asian stories, and even some African and African American stories. Now we are having a tiny blooming flower of Latin inspired stories by Latin authors. Stories about contemporary romance, contemporary life, like women's fiction and romance, and just like contemporary stories. I don't know what would be regular fiction. Contemporary fiction, is that a thing? I don't know. I don't read that, but I've seen it. Having stories, young adult and middle grade stories that's like magical realism, and in fantasy worlds inspired by heritages and folklore, and some of it's slightly loose inspiring, but they're becoming more prominent, and a lot of them are very much, I shouldn't say a lot of them, the ones that I've seen or understand or being exposed to are still very much the writer's own stories, which is still good, but I would like to bring Mesoamerican mythology to the light. And I think I could do that. I can't tell a contemporary story that is just about a boy and a girl meeting at a coffee shop, but I can tell a retelling or reimagining of stories of the gods or of heroes. And not that there's a lot of information about Mesoamerican culture, because the Spanish did a really, in the church, really good job of destroying so much of the culture. But there are things there, and the stuff that I've watched and I've read at least definitely have caveats of they're taking the information that we know of from Spanish philosophers and stuff, writings of what they understood, what Native people were telling them, so on and so forth. But I can still work with that. We can still work with that, because how else are we supposed to then share, stories? So I think it's really important. I really want to show that, because as I've been reading more mythology and more stories and rereading certain things, I think there's definitely stuff there. Again, I feel like a lot of it's not as rich and not as prominent as Greek or Egyptian, but I think some of it is also just relative bias. I've been exposed to that so much that of course, I would feel like there's a lot of information there when there is still relatively ish similar amount. And like Scarlett St. Clair said at Festival Books, which I can link the vlog I did for festival, and when I talked to her, I didn't record when I talked to her, but that I talked to her there, you need to just take inspiration from the line or whatever little bit of the story that you have, and then fill it in with what you know about the culture and the world and how you want things to be represented. So that is my idea. That is the vein that I am going with. So I am going to be writing. I think I'm gonna call it Project Aztec Death Love, but it's just turned into something more because there's more stories than just this story that I'm gonna write. It's gonna very much be stories that are retellings or reimaginings, depending on how I have to approach them. Retellings, reimaginings of Aztec mythology. I'm mostly going to be focusing from Aztec's perspective, being that my family comes from northern Mexico, and the likelihood is that we came from Aztecs, not necessarily Mayans. But I may also have to take some inspiration from there, and some of the gods kind of mirror each other. I haven't done as much research on Mayan culture as I have Aztec, which is even less on Mayan. But there are some mirroring, so I could take, or there could be expressions for that, but it's mainly going to be Aztec. And I'm going to be taking these, because of course I am, I'm going to be taking these retellings, reimaginings of Aztec mythology and folklore, and throwing it into space or into the future. The one that I'm writing is kind of future space. I still want it to be tied to Earth. So, as of right now, we're going to be going back to another space station. But that's all I'm going to say on that for right now. So, that is the new goal, is to write this story, because even though I love my other story, and I feel like, again, it's along the same lines of, I loved Project Elf so much, or The Princess and the Warrior. I loved it so much, but I don't think it was its time. And I think the same thing with Project Sci-Fi Romance. I don't think I don't necessarily think that it's not its time. It's that it would be, of course, I could write this. And not that I think, as a Hispanic Mexican American woman, that I should be writing Latin stories, but I think there is an importance on, we should be the ones telling our stories. And again, as The Tucson Festival books, there was panels that I went to where we discussed that, where we should be the ones telling these stories because we are the ones that are from there. It means different, it hits different when it's from us versus a white person or a black person or an Asian person. So I think it's time for our mythology, even though probably most of us don't even know our own mythology. I think it's time for our mythology to have some time in the sun. So that's why I can always go back to Project Sci-Fi Romance and go back to the universe that I created with no humans, and there's just fun aliens, and it's all my own rules and all my own world. And I can always do that, especially if I keep continuing to go in the vein of being a sci-fi writer. I mean, it won't be that difficult, but I think the culture deserves to have a chance. And I don't see anyone talking about it. I don't see anybody writing about it. The closest thing I've seen is Aiden Thomas and their YA story that recently came out, or I guess it was last year, and the second one coming out this year, where it's like kind of inspired by Mesoamerican gods, but they even said it's not exactly. The gods aren't like copy for copy. They're just kind of in the same vein, which is fine. But I feel like our stories also deserve to be loved and cherished as much as Hades and Persephone and, you know, Athena and Aphrodite and Hades and Zeus's tons of cheating shenanigans, or Anubis and Isis and Ra, or Thor and Loki. Lady Sif. People know of these stories, or the slightly, still kind of vague, but the slightly understanding of yokai and stuff like that within Asian cultures. I think yokai is specifically Japanese, but you understand what I'm saying. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I think we deserve to have a spotlight. That's why I'm doing this, because I think it's right, and also I think it would be fun, and I want to. So, Project AStoryteller is going to be the first in a possible romance book series. I already kind of have an idea of the second story that I could tell. I'm trying to set it up in a way where I have the possibility of making it into a series of like standalone books, like a lot of other romance books are, where we're introducing to a character, and then the next book is about those other characters, so on and so forth. So there is that. Now, the other thing I'm writing, which I'm hoping, my plan is for it to be a short, flash in the pan, quick dribble thing, to just shove myself out into the world before I do the secret Vella that I'm barely telling you about. Is another Vella. This is the first time I'm talking about it to anyone except for another writer friend. Is a pure erotic story with some romance. I don't feel comfortable calling it necessarily erotic romance because it's still not gonna really have a plot. It's just literally it's called Project Succubus and Vampire. It's literally just about a succubus demon and a vampire who find love and sexual satisfaction with each other when both of them have a hard time getting satisfaction from humans. They both have huge, like hunger or thirst, drives, like fast metabolisms, where they've killed human hosts on accident before because they're so hungry and it's hard for them to be full. And they found fulfillment in each other in both ways. So it's literally just the premise of the story. And it's probably going to be really short. It's probably going to be like a length of a novelette. Really, really small. I have to reread the terms of Vella's stuff of like how long or how short can Vella be, because I might be writing a line. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. I want to put it out before the end of the year, but I need to write it and then I need to give it to someone to read because I don't trust my dyslexia, and make sure that it looks okay, and put that out before I put out the other Vella, because I have a plan for the other Vella that will hopefully not stress me out. But yeah, so that's that one. And I'm enjoying it because I feel like I can just sort of do whatever the hell I want with it because it's pure just eroticism. It's just about them finding happiness in each other through intercourse and feeding. So I might do a tiny, like very veiled and plot, so it's not just all sexy, 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 but it's mostly gonna be sexy, sexy, sexy. So, if you're not into that when it comes out, don't feel bad. You don't have to read it, but it's really just gonna be that. The pure idea of that borderline, is it corn or is it an erotic story? Very fine line. Very fine line. And I am 100% going to be saddling it with this story, I feel like. But it's fine. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying feeling like I don't necessarily have rules and I can just write whatever the hell. I can write whatever the hell I want. So that's the writing update. Now, games. So I'm going to tie games and YouTube video stuff together. So going down to one video a month has been good. I've been able to get out a video a month, at least at some point in the month, without having a sticking time frame. And I'm going to keep doing that with the caveat of I'm going to have the occasional bonus video. So I had a bonus video in April or May, I can't remember exactly where it fell in. I had a bonus video then. And then I'm also going to be bringing back vlogs that are going to be quarterly vlogs. So that will be then a bonus video also every quarter at some point in the quarter. Again, I'm not going to have a strict schedule because that's when I started stressing myself out. My main objective is at least one video a month, and then if I can post whatever that bonus video is going to be, bonus video will be up. And like always, Ko-fi will have access to those videos first, and the likelihood is the bonus videos, like the vlogs, will definitely be on Ko-fi first and will be on Ko-fi the longest versus the regular monthly videos. They're usually on Ko-fi for like a week. I think the longest I had it up was like a week and a half, and then it went out to the public. But the bonus videos most likely will be up for a lot longer for just Ko-fi members, and then we'll go public. So, because most of the vlog will be hand in hand with my quarterly newsletter also, so those go hand in hand. But that's kind of what's going to be going on with that and with the main channel. I'm going to be bringing in writing stuff slowly. I mean, not writing stuff, gaming stuff slowly. Right now, that is revolving around Minecraft, but I may also be doing some fun sim stuff that I haven't fully decided yet. Kind of was taking a mini break unintentionally from Sims, but I'll be bringing that back. And I've decided if I stream it, it doesn't become a video. So I have to like record separately. I think that's what will help make those videos separate and unique. And yeah, so that's kind of how that's doing. We're still going to be doing quarterly book club reads, and those books will be put into either a vlog or a review or a combination, depending on how I'm feeling about the book and stuff like that. And those will be going out at some point in the quarter, and the discussions will be up on Ko-fi again for members. So if you want to know my feelings and my expressions in as real time as possible, then you join the Ko-fi, join the discussion there. Then, then that'll be it. So we're having writing vlogs coming back. And this is going to be mostly pure writing vlogs because it's mostly going to be just about the writing. I may mention editing or some like stuff in vlogs, but it's mostly going to be about editing. And then we'll have some gaming videos sporadically, and then the reading stuff. So those will be the like monthly videos, and then I'll probably have a different type of writing video also for like the monthly videos, and then the vlogs are the bonus videos, which again will be bonus videos will be sporadic except for the vlogs. Also, I am finally set up with how the timers work, so I should be able to finally start making gaming timers. Those, after debating and thinking about it, I'm going to put up on the main channel for views. I think it makes better sense to go on the main channel. I did say anything under an hour will go under the main channel, and I'm not going to be doing any hour timers. So yeah, so I have those, and then in regards to streaming, my life is still slightly chaotic, so the likelihood is going to be is that I'm going to continue to stream on per short notice. So again, if you want to be there when I stream, whether it's gaming or writing, you need to subscribe and hit the bells for the Uncut channel, and follow me on Twitch if you want to be on Twitch. Now, I've been saying this on my Twitch and a couple of my YouTube streams. I'm more and more displeased with Twitch and what's happening over there and some of the things that's going on and stuff. So I'm still not going to be an affiliate, which is fine. But I think I'm going to start slowly pulling away from Twitch and moving most of my content over to YouTube and on the Uncut channel. So I'll start streaming more there. So for right now, the only solid thing that will be on Twitch will be the hardcore series. So VODs will be going up from there. If I decide to do a dedicated Sims series over there, I'll let you guys know. But for right now, no. On YouTube, I have The Sims for Twisty 7 Infant Twisty Challenge, or however I ordered it, that I will be going back to soon. So that will only be on YouTube. And then my friends at Blubber Muckle, which I'll link down below, I can link them above, reopened the Minecraft server, and I can link the playlist to that. And I have been playing there. So, and I came out front saying that I'll probably be bouncing back and forth between where I stream. So this is also where the videos on the main channel are going to have to come. Right now, I've been filming build videos, and I will be posting at least one this month. And the next one will be at some point next month. Probably not next month. I'm trying to sporadically post, so I'm not posting the same thing every month. But I will film and then post. Those build videos are like special, very purposeful videos, and then I will be streaming on YouTube and on Twitch with no rhyme or reason. If anything, the closest thing to reason would be if Bumble and Daz, who is from Comfy Writing and Trading, I think I'm saying her name wrong, but I can link her in the places. She has a new gaming channel because I invited her to the server because she wanted to play Minecraft with me. It's the easiest way for us to do it. If she's streaming and Bungle is streaming, they both stream on Twitch only. To make it easier for people to see us, I'd probably then stream on Twitch if we're all going to be streaming at the same time. If I'm only going to be streaming, or I'm going to stream after everyone else gets off, then I'll probably stream on YouTube. Or if I'm just going to stream on my own and no one else is streaming. So, yeah. No rhyme and reason. You're just going to have to be aware of what's happening. And that's really the update for that. And of course, the Snippet channel is still the neglected child. When I get something, I will get something up on there. I do have some clips from some VODs from Minecraft that would be amazing clips. I just haven't given them any attention. So, there are those. And then, reading wise, also with that, hold on, caveat, my caption card is still broken. I still don't have one. So any Nintendo game, so like this Pokemon series we were doing, is on hold. The Malark game, that was the Latin inspired game that was made by Latin gamers or devs, is on hold because it's on my Switch and I can't play it. So any Switch games are on hold for now until I get a caption card. That's what I say about that. But reading wise, I'm still gonna continue the Black Bean Author Review series that ties in obviously with the read along for members on Ko-fi, and on my newsletter on Ko-fi, which is open to the public, is where you can keep up with other things that I'm reading. So I mentioned if I'm reading some webtoons, some webcomics, as well as any other novels that I've read, which again, primarily I listen to because it's harder for me to read. And in all honesty, as more things are happening with my eyes, it is actually harder for me to feel comfortable reading because I have so much screen time with uh, editing videos and writing that it's much easier for me to just listen to a book. And I don't have a lot of physical copies of books, obviously, because I have a limited amount of space. So they would be like on my tablet, which again is more screen time. So just be aware of that. But if you're wanting to know more of what I'm reading, then you can follow my Ko-fi and read the newsletter when it comes out. And that's what I talk about reading. Yeah, that's really it. I will also be hopefully starting a new position at work, which would require me to work more on the weekend, which should help our family financially a little bit more. If I have to, it's kind of a necessity, unfortunately. So that will also impact partially why I don't have a streaming schedule, but that will also impact how a lot of content happens. But again, as I said at the beginning of the year, I'm pretty sure I said it at the beginning of the year, my focus is going to be on writing. Do I love games? Yes. Do I love showing how story can be expressed through games? Yes. You can tell a beautiful story through Minecraft, you can tell a beautiful story through The Sims, and you can experience stories like the Pokemon story, which I wish I could finish showing you guys, and things like that. Yeah. So showing you stories like that, yes. But I need to put out mine. I've always wanted to share stories, my own stories. I've always loved being a storyteller, and I need to focus on that. I need to put out a book, put out stories, and get seen. So I'm going to focus on writing the Vellas. And also that's going to be under a pen name that I'm not announcing yet. If you can find it, good on you. Because I do have some handles up. But, like social media handles. Everything will be on the one Ko-fi. And I'm going to focus on the Vellas and put those out because those will be some quick little bits of money. And then focus on writing project Aspect Love and hopefully getting that done. I kind of want to get it done quickly, just in case. I mean, I hope not, but just in case this boom of left-wing push fizzles. So I kind of want to try and write this well and quickly and get it, edited, see it, and then query it. So I'm going to start writing it this month. Not that it's a camping project, but start writing it this month. I'm still doing a little bit of world building, trying to figure out some things. I don't even have a skeleton outline. It's like paper see-through. So I need to arrange it into the start of a skeleton outline, write a little bit, then finish my skeleton outline, and then finish the story. So I want to do that. I want to at least get to the point where I have my skeleton outline. So the skeleton outline always changes. You gotta rearrange the bones always. But a good skeleton outline at some point and start writing. And if I can. I know last time my goal was to finish it in a year. I really want to finish this in a year. I want to push, which if that means that I don't put out a video here on the main channel, I don't put out a video. Or the video comes out late or something like that. You'll always be able to find me streaming because streaming is a lot easier for me. So if you want to hang out, have the game streams or have sprints running always versus needing to like sit and edit one of these videos. So that is the push. That is the check-in. Still focusing on writing. Projects kind of jumbled. Gave myself a little bit more work, but I think I have a plan, and I just gotta stick with it. And I think this time it will be good. So if you have any comments, any questions, let me know down below. If you know anything about Mesoamerican mythology or history, let me know down below. Give me some extra, ideas or books that have these stories that I can read to help beef up my knowledge. And yeah, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Tell stories of grass.